Tim Cook called Texas governor to stop online child safety legislation. Whoa. Why would Tim Cook call to stop online child safety legislation? This is a Wall Street Journal story. Apple CEO Tim Cook personally called Texas Governor Abbott to request changes or a veto of a child safety bill requiring app stores to verify users' ages, with an Apple spokesman stating if enacted, Apple marketplaces will be required to collect and keep sensitive personal identity information for every Texan who wants to download an app, even if it's an app that simply provides weather updates or sports scores. The bill passed with veto-proof majorities would make Texas the largest state to adopt such an app store accountability law, potentially increasing costs for Apple and Google. The Texas legislation mandates that app stores verify device owners' ages, linking minors' accounts to parents for an app approval, which supporter Senator Angela Paxton said help parents understand what their children are really interacting with and give them tools to help them make a good parenting decision. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, Tim Cook's had a busy week. He's working hard and he's got things going on. But there's some things in here that America needs to think about. Think about this. If you want to operate a liquor store in the state of Texas, actually in the state of anywhere, right? Vinny, you want to operate a liquor store. Yeah. You have to check IDs, everybody in there, right? And you have to get yourself a liquor license.
Do I have to have an accent like I want to sell?
No. Okay. Don't do that.
I'll stay. Just go. I want to get into character.
Right? But you want to do it. You want to you get yourself a license in some state, and you operate a liquor store. Okay. And you have to check IDs for everyone that doesn't look 30. And you have those stickers that are up by the register. Gotcha. If you don't look 30, we're going to card you. Don't get pissed off. Yeah. Okay, and guess what? When you swipe their credit card, you're keeping sensitive information. You have their name, you've got date of birth, you've got all kinds of things, and you've got a credit card record. So now all they're saying is, hey, Apple, if you want to operate in the state of Texas, and when kids are downloading apps like games where they can actually, they want to buy, additional levels and things in the games, or the games are things like Grand Theft Auto, they're saying, hey, guess what? You got to link the kid's account to your account, because parents are also asking, wait a minute, I want to know what's on Instagram and Facebook. I know that certain things at Grand Theft Auto are going to get rated higher, and I have to allow my kid, unless they get around me, to get that app. And Tim Cook's being told, says, listen, want to operate a gun store, want to operate, a liquor store, you want to operate a supermarket that sells beer, you got to check IDs. You have to do like this. Guess what? We're asking you to check, and we're asking you to link, because there's another thing hiding, an iceberg below the surface that Apple doesn't want to talk about and Meta doesn't want to talk about. And the fact is, all these statistics on kids and the distraction and what's happening in school when they're on social media during class, what's happening to the minds and young girls, and we don't need to do it now, but there's a ton of data out on young girls that were suffering depression, hurting themselves, or doing things online they shouldn't be, directly attributed to social media and social media platforms that were actively out there trying to exploit them. And so now Texas has said, we've had enough. Apple, you are the store. And if you want to sell these things in your store to Texans, you got to check. This is what we want you to do. And they say, well, it's going to cost us a lot of money. And it says, okay, well, let me check. Checking my notes. Yeah, you're the largest, most valuable company in the world. I think you got some walking around money that you can handle putting these things in place and do development. You're a software developer.
Adam,
develop things to make it easier.
Adam, your thoughts?
Well, I want to kick this back to you, PPD, because this seems like something that parents need to be fully aware of, whether they're in Texas or not. This past weekend, I was at one of my best friend's son's bar mitzvah, 13 years old. I took my nephew Rory, who's 12. So all my friends, their kids are 10, 11, 12, 13 in this age bracket, and they all freaking have phones. And I remember being at quinceañeras and birthdays and bar mitzvahs, 100 years ago when I was that age, and you were so fully in the moment and so fully present, and now everyone's on a phone. So what I want to understand is, as a parent, how do you navigate stuff like that these days? Because for me, it's very weird seeing kids 13 years old, 12 years old, just face down in their phone, not living their life. I know you've been very clear about how you handle this, but what's your advice on the general parenting with phones out there?
Well, I mean, look, what Apple is trying to do we had Layla Mickelwaite on and Pornhub owner, Rob, if you remember when we had the Pornhub owner on, and I'm asking him saying, so why aren't you just checking IDs for people that go on Pornhub? No, we can't do that. Why? What, is it because 90% of traffic would drop because nobody wants their IDs to be checked? Like imagine you're going on a porn website. Okay, post your picture of your ID. Hell no.
Yeah, I know who you are and what you watch.
No, you don't want to. The person's going to be like, I don't want to be documented.
Hell no.
I said, well, you would lose 90 to 95% of your traffic. No, we wouldn't. I guarantee you would. So Layla Mickelwaite pursues this and goes as far as doing this. And I think she was one of the ones that, caused this Senate Bill 2420 to be taking place at governor's signature, aiming to require app stores to providers like Apple and Google to verify users. This is let me tell you, this is massive for a lot of people in the porn industry, that if this legislation goes through in Texas, guess who does it next? All the other red states. They're going to say, we want the same exact thing. When it comes down to phones, Dylan's over here. So as a kid, your kids are going to ask you for the phone for a few different reasons. Let's go through them. One of them is what? Is video games, okay? What's the other thing? Is listening to music. What's the other thing? Texting their friends. So remember, you have three things. Well, they can't buy if they don't have your credit card. So if
Amazon.
You don't put,
Amazon.
Yeah, but if you don't give them a logged-in account that they can't log in and just go buy stuff, so you got what? You got texting, you got music, you got video games.
Yes.
Or YouTube if they're watching videos and they're watching movies and stuff like that. Netflix, right? So as a parent, if you want them to, like, we're on a flight here, and on the flight, the kids watch movies in the, on the seat. You can see it. So that at least gives you that. Hey, I want to listen to some music. You hand a phone to him. He's listening to music. But he's listening to music and he's texting.
Of course.
Or she's texting. So, okay, now I'm texting. Do you want that level of accessibility at that young age to be texting somebody nonstop?
No.
I don't. So now, phones and iPads, parents have to be very much, because kids can tell you, I just want to listen to some music, but they're really texting somebody and not playing video games. I'm definitely not for. Yesterday, went to dinner, and we had a few people that are not accustomed to being with dinner with us, and the phone was sitting on the table. And it's driving me nuts the entire time. You know why? Because I'm like, my kids are not going to come and say, well, if they can have a phone on the table, why do you not? And I'm like, no, everybody. So, how we go to summertime, we go vacation together, or Christmas, or whatever we do, what happens? All phones are off the table.
Yep.
Tom, Vinny, we literally grab our phones. I know this sounds weird. And we fully put it on a different table. And we don't even look at the phone.
Great idea.
For 2 hours. And what does it make us do? We're talking.
Looking at each other.
We're talking conversation. I think we need to go more and more that direction. But this is, to the average parent, to the average person that's reading the story, they're like, I don't even know why they're covering this story. To the average person, trust me, it may not be a big deal to you. But to somebody that's in business that knows what's about to happen with Apple, there is a reason why Tim Cook picked up the call and called the governor, not saying one of his C-suite executives to call. This could be massive for Apple and very expensive across the board. They do not want this. Rob, can you show us the new gear we have with Valuetainment merch for those that go to the gym and work out? Go for it, Rob. That's it.
Look at those legs, Pat.
You seeing that little wink at the end there? I like
that sound else for you, baby.
All right.
The future looks strong and sweaty.
Go to vtmerch.com, place your order, get your gear, go to the gym, sport the future looks bright. And anybody that places an order, you get a I Love VT keychain being sent your way. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.